Good morning, first year students. Today we are going to do a poem by Alexander Pope, An Essay on Man. As the word suggests, from an essay on man, it means that it is not a complete poem, but it is a part taken from a longer poem called An Essay on Man. This poem deals with the contradictions, the paradoxes of human's personality. So, the first stanza goes, though this poem is not divided properly into stanzas, but for our convenience, I have divided it into stanzas. Know then thyself, presume not God to scan. The proper study of mankind is man. Placed on this isthmus of a middle state, a being darkly wise and rudely great. Now the first line says, know then thyself. The poet is asking human beings to know their own selves. Presume not God to scan. Scan means to know deeply. Remember the word CT scan? So here he means, scan means to know deeply. He says, don't do efforts to know about God. First, you should know yourself. Until and unless you know about yourself, until and unless a man knows about man, he should not try, he should not presume to scan the moves of God. So the first line is that human beings should try to know themselves before trying to know God. The proper study of mankind is man. It says, if you want to study the psychology of human beings, you should study man. Man means you should study the psychology of man. You should study the mind. You should try to read the mind of man, and you should know about the limitations and about the contradictions of human personality. Placed on this isthmus of a middle state. Now, he says that we are placed in such a place that we are in a middle state. How we are in a middle state? We are darkly wise and rudely great. We are somewhere in the middle. We are neither beasts, means we are neither animals, and we are neither gods. We are somewhere in the middle. So, a being darkly wise and rudely great. Now you see, earth is said to be in the middle of heaven and hell. So, human personality also contains both the elements in it. So many contradictions, so many paradoxes are contained in a human personality. He says, a being darkly wise. So, a human being is a person, is a being who is wise, plus he is dark also. Dark means ignorant. Though he is a wise person, but still he is ignorant of a lot of things. Darkness is always associated with ignorance, and wisdom is associated with knowledge. So, no matter how much wise we become, how much wisdom we gain, still we are ignorant about a lot of things. So, it is a very, you should say it is a paradox, very unusual paradox, that we are darkly wise. Though human being is a wise creature, but still he is in dark, and rudely great. Now, how can a rude person be great, or how can a great person be rude? But there are elements of rudeness in us and elements of greatness in our personality. So, both the binaries are contained in our personality. We are dark. We are in a darkness for certain things, and we have wisdom for certain things. We are rude, still we are great. You see, Alexander the Great. We call him great, but he was rude for the humanity. Why? Because in order to capture the whole world, he acted rudely. He acted ruthlessly. So, the poet wants to say that we have got the elements of both positive personality and negative personality. Then, with too much knowledge for the skeptic side, with too much weakness for the stoic's pride, he hangs in between, in doubt to act or rest, in doubt to deem himself a god or a beast. Beautiful lines. He says, with human being has too much knowledge for the skeptic side. Who is a skeptic? Skeptic who is doubtful, who does not believe easily in anything. So he says, we have too much knowledge about things. So we can say that we have the knowledge in the field of science, in the field of psychology, in the field of astronomy, astrology, geography. Next line says, with too much weakness for the stoic's pride. Stoic, who is a person? Who is called a stoic? Stoic is a person who can remain balanced in sorrow as well as in joy. So, but we are too weak. Because we are human beings, we are not gods, so we cannot become stoic. Stoic means to remain balanced, whether we are going through a sorrowful phase of life or whether we are going through a joyful phase of life. So he says we have a lot of weaknesses. Now what is the weakness? That we become elated when we get happiness, and we become depressed when we get sorrows in our life. So we can't become proud owner of a stoic's personality. He hangs in between. The poet says he means human beings. Human being hangs in between. Hangs in between means he is somewhere in the middle. He is neither altogether knowledgeable. He is neither altogether ignorant. He is neither altogether stoic nor totally weak. He hangs in between, in doubt to act or in rest. So the poet says that we are living in doubt whether to act or whether not to act. Sometimes what happens that we take an action where we should not have taken an action, and sometimes we become inactive when we are supposed to take some action. So we are in a doubt. What is right move for us? What is wrong? So we commit mistakes because we are human beings. So we are always in a doubt whether to take an action or whether not to take an action. In doubt to deem himself a god or a beast. So we are still in a doubt to consider ourselves a god or a beast. I will give you two examples. In humanity, we have got god-like persons also. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Swami Vivekananda. These people can be considered as gods among human beings. And on the other side, we have beastly people also. Now, beastly means animal-like. The looters, the murderers, the rapists, they are beast-like. So we are in a doubt whether to consider human being a god or a beast. So in our society, we find people who are god-like, and we can also find people who are animal-like. Even in our own personality, certain actions are god-like and certain actions are beast-like. Sometimes we are happy with ourselves if we do a good deed. So that is the godly element in us. And sometimes we act irrationally. And then we repent that why did I take such an action? In doubt his mind or body to prefer. Now the second doubt in human beings' personality is that whether to listen to your mind or whether to listen to your body. For example, I will give you a current example of mind and body. During your exam time, what happens? Your mind says that you should get up at 5 o'clock and study. But your body says that you should take rest. So, it is all a matter of preference. When we are ill, we should listen to your body and give our body some rest. And when we are hale and hearty and when we have certain work at hand, we should listen to our mind, not our body. In your first year course of study, in your second paper, you have got one short story. How much land does a man need? You remember, he did not listen to his body. He listened to his mind's greed. And in his mind was filled a lot of greed. He thought of covering more and more land by walking and running. And his body was giving way. His body was failing him. But in the end, what happened? He listened to his mind where he should have listened to his body. His body was getting tired, but he did not stop. He was running and running and running because there was a limit that till the sunset, the area covered by you will be yours. So, in order to satisfy his greed, he ran and ran and ran, and in the end, his body collapsed and he died. So sometimes what happens, when we should have listened to our body, we listen to our mind, and sometimes when we should have listened to our body, we listen to our mind. So that is vice versa. Born but to die and reasoning but to err. And it is known that we are mortal human beings and we will die someday, but reasoning but to err. Now you see, we are most rational human beings. But still we commit mistakes. Why? Because we are not gods, we are human beings. So the greatest paradox in our lives is that we have taken birth and we will die someday. And we are rational human beings, but still we do errors. Err means, but still we do errors. Alike in ignorance his reason such, whether he thinks too little or too much. Now, we are alike in ignorance. His reason means the reasoning of human being is such, whether he thinks too little like a philosopher or whether he thinks too much like a philosopher or too little like a simpleton. We all are alike. Sometimes even a very intellectual person commits mistake. And sometimes what happens, an illiterate simpleton person gives a very novel idea to us. So he says we are alike in ignorance. We are still ignorant about a lot of things. Now take the example of Albert Einstein. He was considered to be a very knowledgeable person. Still he did not know a lot of things, because a person cannot know all things in one lifetime. So chaos of thought and passion, all confused, still by himself abused or disabused. Now, chaos means confusion of thought and passion. Thought means mind and passion, heart. We don't know whether to listen to our emotions or whether to listen to our rational thinking. We are all confused. Still by himself abused and disabused. Human beings is abused and disabused by himself only because he repents. Created half to rise and half to fall. Human being is created in such a manner that God has placed him somewhere in between. He has got the elements, he has got the possibilities to become godlike, and he has got the possibilities to become beast-like or animal-like. if we pick up the newspaper, we can have the examples of both. We can find some news where a human being has acted as an animal, where he has murdered someone, where he has raped someone. And in the same newspaper, we find a person who is doing noble social service. So it means that we have got elements of becoming gods, and we have got the elements of becoming animals too. We have got the elements to cater to our thought processes or cater to our passions. Great Lord of all things, yet a prey to all. Now, human being is a Lord of all things. Why? Because he is a crown of creation. Human being was made the best by God. So he is the Lord of all things. He can say that I can control nature. He has controlled air by making aeroplanes. He has controlled the earth. We can see he has controlled even the water by making ships, and he has also reached the moon. Yet a prey to all. Prey means he is a person who is captured by, he is attacked by some calamities, natural calamities. A person thinks that he is the Lord of nature, but nature makes him the prey. Nature hunts for him. For example, see this pandemic corona. All the scientists of the world have still not been successful in making a vaccine. So we are prey to nature. Sole judge of truth in endless error hurled. We are the sole judges of truth. We can boast that we know the truth. So, if we know the truth, then why are we hurled in endless errors? Why do we commit errors? Because we are human beings. This is the paradox of our life. Now, the last line is a beautiful line, and it sums up the personality of human beings, the glory, jest, and riddle of the world. Human being is the glory of the world because he is above all creations. He is the crown of creation. He is the cared for crown. And he is a jest. Why jest? Because he is a joke. He does not know whether to pay attention to his thought or whether to pay attention to his passion, whether to listen to his body, whether to listen to his mind, whether he is a god or whether he is a beast. That and riddle of the world. Riddle, why riddle? Because nobody has been successful in knowing about the real personality of human being, whether he is a god or he is a beast. If he is a knowledgeable person, why does he commit mistake? If he is the Lord of things, why he is a prey to all? So this is a riddle of the world. I hope you understood this poem, and this poem is filled with a lot of binaries. Thank you.